Hey guys, Briggs again. So the last video I did was just with regards to one of the ceremonies that I did this weekend, which was the private journey for my Sangoma friend at her space, at her house, in her traditional hut. And so that was Friday night's journey. So I come to Johannesburg once a month, and I have sort of I'm quite busy when I come here actually, so I come once a month to do group journeys. Obviously I do once a month Cape Town, once a month Joburg, and then when I am in Joburg I do private journeys as well, Reiki sessions and soul coaching and Ascension sessions. So so that was Friday night. Saturday night was our group journey. The space is growing. You know, it's weird, you know, they say when the student is ready, the master will appear. And my master has sort of been not in this form of a person, but really the temple. So we've received a new temple space, and I'm so grateful for the space, and it's called Druid's Garden. And it is absolutely beautiful along the side of the river in Henops. It's really pretty much, from what I can understand, probably the most shamanic and sacred space in South Africa at this point in time. So, you know, besides our natural spots of, you know, the mountains, the ley lines, the rivers, the waterfalls and all of that, nature will always hold that frequency just above higher, just a little bit higher. So, but this is our temple work, and we do plant medicine journeys in the space. So we had our group journey there. It is growing, and it's so beautiful because we had 17 people on Friday night, and based on how hyped I was sorry, that was Saturday night. Based on how hyped I was from Friday night, I was super excited to facilitate the journey. What I wanted to share with regards to that journey, the last video I did in terms of debriefing was the sort of dealing with the mind and, you know, how to get out of the mind space within the journey. This video, I really just wanted to comment on sort of multi-dimensional aspects and what happens in that space that we cannot see. So those of you that know me know that I do not see. I'm not clairvoyant in that aspect. It's not where my psychic skill or my sort of extrasensory perception skill lies. My skill is an empath and intuit. Why it's good within the plant ceremony space is I can feel people's emotions. I can feel what they are going through. I can feel when they're holding back. I can sort of zone into what their spiritual status, you know, could be in terms of this open frequency, and when all your chakras are aligned, you know, what potential, that's the word I was looking for, what potential you could have within the spiritual journey that you're on. So that's really where my skill lies. But obviously I work with a team of people, and that is important because, you know, each light worker and each light bringer and bearer has a different role, okay? So each of us have a different skill. One of these people in particular is a very dear friend of mine, and she has extraordinary abilities. It is her last incarnation on earth, and what that means is she's sort of heightened to such a vibratory rate that she has many skills, and one of those is seeing, and I know that many people do have that. So I just wanted to share with that. I'm not going to go really into that. It's really just with regards to what came up in our temple space this weekend. And you know, a lot of the light workers that I know personally have been mentioning dragons lately. Of course, I've been going through my own research, and just this week I mentioned to my friend, you know, I said I really want to get into dragon work. How does it work? How do I sort of conjure up my dragons? And sort of this whole topic on dragons. And I know for some of you this might seem a bit far-fetched. You know, a couple of months ago we were speaking about unicorns. I don't think I've done a video on that, but I'm just saying, you know, in terms of the friendship circles that these light workers and my light worker friends are in, these things come up, these magical, mystical, wondrous things and creatures come into our space. And please know, from a spiritual perspective, it's not something that we just take at face value. Each person that it comes into your space, it comes in as an energy, as these synchronistic moments that keep occurring. One person's talking about it, the next person's talking about it, and all of a sudden, you're researching it, and we question everything. But when these things start becoming a reality and the synchronistic moments start becoming more, these things come into our space as something that we can connect with and work with. So dragons was sort of the topic of conversation this week leading into ceremony. And of course, through the debrief, we have 3 people within the space of 17 people that mentioned the dragon. And of course, like I said, my one special person, who was actually my mom in Atlantean times, she mentioned that the white dragon came through. She said it was so beautiful. So basically, we have this beautiful round temple space that is surrounded by angels. Of course, I call in Archangel Michael all the time because this work requires protection. Then, so we have the angels surrounding. I work with Minari, who is a guide from the Amazon, who also stands around the temple in protective frequency. And then, Justine mentioned to me that this dragon came in and was just this beautiful, huge white dragon and just circling the entire space. And like I said, 3 of our plant medicine journey clients experienced this, so it was really, really beautiful. Experienced this sort of warm, loving feeling of this dragon energy. A lot of people in the debrief asked, what is this about? And basically, it is a super, 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 super sacred occurrence, something to come through that is not from our dimension, and just this absolutely sacred, ancient blessing. So I am, and this is how these things work. During the week, I ask about dragons, and here comes in this dragon energy. And it was really sweet because in the evening, after the formal space was done, I was sitting outside with my dear friend, Shelbel, who I love dearly, and say thank you for all your work and your help with regards to these journeys. And there was a rustling in the bush, and we just made a little joke. We were like, what's that? And then I just said, oh, it's the dragon energy. And we had a little chuckle, but in fact the dragon was there. So the other thing that came about with regards to the journey from a visual perspective was hundreds and hundreds of bubbles, basically gold bubbles infused with white light, sort of this tiger's eye kind of feel and look, and just hundreds of bubbles in this sort of temple space, along with these strobe lights, sort of like a psychedelic strobe light feeling shining through, the feeling that I just can't get the color purple out of my head with regards to this particular ceremony. So I imagine those strobe lights to have been quite purple in their psychedelic nature, is how she described it. And then this flow of light and energy, white and violet, with these golden bubbles flowing through each of my clients' feet, going into them. So my objective is often to ground that energy into Mother Gaia, which I know is this golden color of light. So I just, the visual representation of what happened in that journey space, I really wanted to share with you guys. And also bearing in mind that it's winter, we have a beautiful fireplace in there, and it was just absolutely magnificent. To each and every single one of my clients, I say thank you. I love you. I hope you have a beautiful week. Thank you for all sharing your stories, opening your hearts, being vulnerable, and assisting yourselves through this healing process. As I always mention to everyone, my job as light bringer is to empower you to open up that heart chakra and really activate this sort of path of consciousness for you through the plant medicine work. So to each and every single one of you, I say thank you. To our white dragon, Thank you so much for being there with us in this space. To our angels, to our guides from the Amazon, to all multidimensional beings that assist all light workers in this help, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. Blessings to all of you guys, and I'll chat soon. Bye.